Guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to price your virtual assistant services. This is a very important question. Many of you have asked exactly how do I price my virtual assistant services, and today I'm going to be breaking it down step by step. It varies from place to place and person to person, and that's why I'll be giving you a simple formula that you can use in order to price it to suit yourself. Now, one of the mistakes that virtual assistants make is to go to someone else's website or go on a Facebook group and ask everybody else, what are you charging for this particular service? And then they go on to say that they charge the exact same, or even worse, they say they charge slightly less. The problem with this is because if you're not confident in the prices that you're charging, or you don't even know why you're charging the prices that you do say you charge, you will not be able to convince your client the same way. So when someone asks you, how much do you charge for this particular thing, and you say your price, they can tell that you don't believe in that price that you're calling for them. And because of that reason, sometimes they end up actually signing up with somebody who may be even more expensive but understands the value of what they are giving. So that's why I want you to calculate your own hourly rate or your package pricing, which of them you're going to go with, and then you stick to it. So this is something that is really important. Welcome back, guys. I'm going to be showing you on my phone exactly what you need to be doing to make sure that you're charging appropriately for your services, especially as a beginner and you're not sure of what you should charge. So here we go. So the first thing I want you to think about is your fixed expenses. So how much do you spend no matter what? What do you spend on expenses per month? So do you spend money on rent? Do you spend money on gas? Whatever your fixed expenses are, I want you to think about it. So I'm going to imagine that this person is spending $2,000 per month on fixed expenses, and that's how much they need to be making per month. Then the second thing I want you to think about is how much time do you actually have to dedicate to this business. There's something you need to understand, that all the hours you have to dedicate to the business will not be spent on actually working in the business. Some of it you spend in marketing, but we're just going to imagine that all of your time you can actually spend it on the business. Okay, so think about it. If you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're a student who are working part-time, or if you just stay at home and you're not doing anything at the moment, so you have all of your time to yourself, how much time can you realistically put in a day? So I'm going to work with somebody who has 5 hours per day to put into this business. Yours might be less, so that gives us 5 hours per day and gives us 5 times 5 days in a week. So I don't work weekends, so I'm not going to put in weekends because you need time to rest. So that gives us 25 hours per week. 25 hours per week multiplied by 4 weeks in a month gives us 100 hours in a month. So now what we can do is take this value. So we know that 25 hours per week and 100 hours in a month, because 25 times 4 is 100. Then what we can do is divide that by our fixed expenses. Now I understand that you might have extra expenses for food, and you might have other expenses that you want to spend money on, but I just want you to focus on your fixed expenses for now, because those are your must-haves. So what you're going to do, once you divide this, we're going to do it old school, and what we're left with is $20 per hour. Now, depending on where you live in or where you're located, this might be too small or sound like actually a steal, but this tells you that you need to be charging at least $20 per hour for you to be able to make a reasonable living and pay off your expenses. Now, I still understand that if you're living in places where you are required to pay tax, even for small businesses, this is the income that you will have before taxes. And then if you add a 30% tax to that, what you're going to be left with, you have to pay about $600 in taxes. So what we're going to do is we'll go up here and Okay, so we have $2,000 earned in a month minus $600 in taxes. What we are actually left with to spend is $1,400. So in order to avoid all of this, so what you actually need to charge is $2,600 and divide that by the 100 hours that we initially calculated, and that brings your hourly rate to $26 per hour. Now, there's something that most virtual assistants forget to factor in when they are calculating their hourly rate, and that is charges. So when you use tools like PayPal and Stripe, they charge you for receiving money from your clients. Now, a lot of people usually complain that, oh my god, the charges are too much and this and that, but this is something I want you to get used to because you are now a business owner. So the average charge that most of the payment processing companies charge is 2.9% plus 0.30 cents. I don't think you put the dollar sign when it's just cents. So 0.30 cents, right? This is really tiny, really tiny. I like to round everything up to 3%. It could be more, it could be less. So basically what this means is that for every $100 that you receive, what you actually get is $97. So that's something you want to factor in. So from the last thing that I said, your hourly rate ended up being $26 per hour. So if you want to adjust for charges, you might have to increase your hourly rate all the way to $30 per hour in order to receive at the end of the day approximately $2,000 as your income after taxes and after charges. This is not including if you have business expenses, like let's say you're paying for Wi-Fi, gas to run to the station for something, or buying supplies and all of that stuff, maybe hosting and buying your domain. This is just an estimate. So this is how you can calculate your hourly rate. And just to show you all over again, when I was getting started, this was what my expenses look like. So my rent at the time, because I don't live in the US, I live in the Caribbean, and my rent at the time was approximately let me write that. Okay, my rent at the time was approximately 500 US. I know it sounds ridiculously cheap, but that was what it was. And then I spent about, say, 200 US on food. I don't remember the exact figures, I'm just guessing right now. So I spent on food and for transport and some other miscellaneous things, because I don't have a car, I don't even know how to drive. Let's just put it at 100 US to and fro, because I used to go out a bit. And then we have the toiletries and all of that stuff. I can just call them miscellaneous, and that can be up to $250. This includes styling my hair, making my hair. I'm a black girl, so yeah, our hair is kind of different when it comes to styling hair. So if you do a calculation of this, we have 0 here, we have 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 3, that brings us a round figure of $1,050. So I adjusted this to become $1,200. Now, because I'm working as a freelancer in a foreign country, I don't need to register. And even if you register your business here in St. Vincent, from what I know and what it's on their site, you don't pay taxes for the first 25 years. So I'm basically working tax-free as a freelancer in St. Vincent. Now, at I need $1,200 per month to survive. And what I did was, I asked myself, how much time did I have? I was still going to medical school then, so I had approximately 3 to 4 hours a day, and I kept it at 3 hours in order to be realistic. So I had 3 hours a day. I multiplied that by 5 days in a week, which was 15 hours, and then 15 hours times 4 gave me 60 hours. So I was able to divide that by 60, and what we have here ended up being $20 per hour. But guess what? I couldn't charge $20 per hour. I was too scared. I was too chicken. So what I ended up with was $15 per hour. And that's where I started from, and it worked for me. There's one final tip I want to leave with you before you go, because it's really important. Because as a virtual assistant, you will need to increase your prices as you get more experience and you gain more skills. Now, most people dread actually speaking to their existing clients to tell them that, okay, I'm increasing my prices, because it brings out this very uncomfortable money conversation where your client begins to wonder, what exactly are you doing for me and why are you asking for a raise? But here's a simple tip that I have done and has enabled me to avoid this particular conversation in the past 2 years that I have been running an online business. This is what I've done. When I started my business, I started out offering services at $15 per hour. That was my hourly rate when I got started. I didn't know much about it, so I just went with the price that came to mind. But what I did was, for every new client I signed, I tried to increase my rates by at least $2. So if I sign somebody for $15 per hour right now, and the next client comes for a similar service, what I do is I charge that person $16 or maybe $18 per hour, thereabout, and then the next person that comes, I try to increase it. Now what will happen is, as you keep going up, you start hitting some blocks here and there, but that's fine. If you find it difficult to sell at a particular price, what you can do is you actually sit back, evaluate what you're actually offering to that client. Then the next thing you can do is up your skills, and you'll be able to sell maybe $22 per hour to the next client, and that's how you keep going. I have never had to have a conversation with a client about increasing my prices except once, which was when the client signed me literally like 2 weeks before I decided I wanted to increase my prices, and she had also added more workload, so it was a really easy conversation. I say this because in the beginning it might be difficult for you to have those conversations with your client, but that's okay. You can easily evade this conversation, and then as you get more experience, you notice that it's easy to just tell your client, look, I do this and this for you, and this is what it helps you gain in your business, and that's why I'm asking for a raise. Okay, so I hope this was really helpful. I'm so excited to help you guys figure out your pricing, and I also would love to know how much exactly you spend in expenses as per your living fixed expenses in the comment section. It's lovely having you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.